All right, y'all. Man, it's a Super Bowl weekend. I'm almost so excited. I'm about ready to pee on my. Oh, wait just a minute. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. We have the first lady of sports talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith. Goddess Kelli, the diva of sports debate. And Goddess Kelli, you looking awfully good today. Awfully good. You look good in them Eagles colors. Kind of sexy there. A little early in the morning for that, but you can tell your boyfriend I wasn't recklessly eyeballing, too much. We got CJ out of Chicago. Hey, she got that tattoo. That tattoo is like, And we got CJ out of Chicago. And we got guess who flew in? Naked, of course, on that bearskin rug. Ladies. We got Dizzy Mac. That's right. He done flew in. So I thought the brother was going to be in all sorts of situations, given the fact that he be, like flying in and out of the country and given the current, they don't know if he a Muslim. They don't know if he a French. They don't know if he's Canadian, and they don't know if he's from Alabama. All they see is naked. And a bearskin rug. So, sometimes you have trouble getting through immigration and all of that, cause, you ain't got no ID. Now, check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from Fall of Man. Dun, dun, dun. Where they find their shining star, get the cold. And I do mean cold, feel the mute button. Goddess Kelli. And it's all right, y'all. It's time for funny ladies. Let's get our giggle on. DJ, hit it.
The second joke is yet another parrot joke. Because I love parrot jokes. This woman has always wanted a parrot. Always. She loves them. She loves the way they look. She loves their wingspan. She loves their color. But she could never afford it. But every day she thought to herself, boy, I wish I could have a parrot. It'd be really great to have a parrot because they're wonderful and they're beautiful and they'd be wonderful. But years went by and she never got one. But she worked hard. And then a friend of hers passed away and left her his parrot. She was overjoyed. She brought him home. She took the little cloth off because, of course, she had prepared her home. She had a beautiful new cage for him. She had new parrot toys and things, just everything a parrot could want. And she pulled the cover off the cage, and the parrot cursed her a blue streak. This parrot hated her. Every time she'd go to put her arm in it, but she tried and tried to make friends with this parrot. The parrot cursed her, bit her, did all kinds of things. And after about a month, she got really upset. Unlike her. She got very upset. She walked up to the parrot, she snatched him, she walked into the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, opened the freezer, threw him in there, threw the refrigerator door closed, and walked away, and while she could still hear him going, she said, oh my God, I done killed the bird. So she walked over and she listened closer, and she didn't hear anything. She said, what am I going to do? So she opened the refrigerator, she opened the freezer, and the bird popped out on her arm. And the bird said, ma'am, I'm heartily sorry for the way that I have treated you. I realized that I didn't recognize a good owner when I saw one. And I promise you, I will be the exemplary bird that you want me to be if you'll just give me another chance. Do you think you could do that? She said, well, of course. Yeah. And he said, may I ask you another question? She said, of course. The bird said, what did the chicken do?
All right, that was a funny lady to kick off the show this morning. But it's First Lady, what you saying?
Each week we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the NFL are flying high for the Super Bowl, but worried about the downward trend of parents and players who don't want their children to play the game. The NFL commissioned a survey that showed 48% of parents, including players who are parents, do not want their children to play football. That is not good. Really not good. Does the NFL need to find a way to bring in international players to fill the gap, a la the Nigerian nightmare? Can the NFL buck this trend? Pro basketball is an international game. Can you recall the names of star players outside of the U.S. from this season, or the names of their teams? Oh, what is the NFL to do? Nancy Lopez, Sonia Henney, Tracy Calkins, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? The issues with concussions have parents and players scared, and they have a reason to be afraid. The studies have shown that players inevitably will develop CTE with continued trauma to the head. The NFL doesn't want to talk about CTE, but they need to lead the way by donating money for continued research. Unfortunately, CTE is only diagnosed after death. The NFL needs to pour money into research to develop a diagnostic test that can detect CTE prior to death. The CTE issue has made it impossible for the NFL to buck the trend of parents not allowing their children to play football. Considering that, enrollment in football leagues like PAL, Pop Warner, they are down, and it would behoove the NFL to have an international outreach by setting up summer camps in other countries. Following the same system that the NBA uses, the NBA, they have teams in Europe, China, and India to develop the game abroad. The problem with football, it's just too American. Football is American. Other countries don't really play football. So to me, the best bet is to recruit international players is to reach out to those countries that play rugby. Rugby is similar to football and is extremely rough. Matter of fact, some people say it's rougher than football. So I really think that that's the route that the NFL needs to do to try to get some international players into the game, is to really reach out to those countries with rugby, have these camps, develop teams going over to these countries to market football there. And eventually, that might save the league. Because at the rate it's going, 48% of people don't want their children to play football. That's really a bad thing for the NFL. Football is like American pie, but when you have people dying with CTE and they're exhibiting these symptoms even before they die, that's something that you got to think about. And I know, as a parent, I don't think I would want my son to play football. So I can understand why these parents feel the way they do. So the NFL, they're in trouble. It's going to, I would say in 15, 20 years, it's going to be a big problem for the NFL. Really big problem. Now, I'm a basketball fanatic, so I can definitely guess international players, from other countries. We talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I can't say his name, but he's from Greece, and he plays for the Bucks. Kristaps Porzingis, he's from Latvia, and he plays for the Knicks. Man, I don't need to go on. So many people. Ben Simmons, he's from Australia. He plays for the Sixers. Goddess Kelli, I know you know basketball, so I know you can name some international players, but what do you think about this NFL situation, what's going on with the downward trend of parents wanting their children to play football?
Well, I don't have children, so I am not a parent, so I can't speak what my personal opinion would be on this matter. I have always been of the opinion that people should follow their dreams. And I have had the privilege of speaking to so many, been trying to get their shot in the NFL. Now, when it comes to the CTE issue, I'll never forget when Junior Seau was introduced into the NFL Hall of Fame and his daughter came up and gave that tear-filled speech. I cried right along with her. It was a beautiful moment, and just the way that she described her father and then the tragedy of his death, which was 100% attributed to CTE from all of the concussions that he sustained through his time playing football. And I think that the more things like that are brought out into the spotlight, the more the public becomes aware of this issue, and then obviously it's going to stop parents from wanting to put their children into that kind of danger. There is research that is being done trying to make the game of football safer. I know a few years ago there was research being done on helmets that had the padding inside of them, and it was made out of the same material as the NASCAR walls that are supposed to stop the fiery crashes. So, I mean, they are trying to do things to make football safer. They do have rules as to, you can't do the helmet to helmets, that sort of thing. You can't hit a defensive player. But, I mean, obviously those sort of things still happen. We see penalties for it every single game. So there does need to be a way to protect the head better. I don't think that making the game of football less physical is the answer. I think America wouldn't stand for that. We love football the way it is. Nobody wants to sit and watch flag football. But if there is less children coming in, there is still so many people in this country, in America, though, that want the chance to play football. And I mentioned those Division II kids that I had the privilege of getting to know, and a lot of them are just as talented as some of their counterparts from the big schools, but they never get that shot because they don't come from a prestigious school. They don't come from an Ohio State or an Alabama or any of the big stage college teams. They come from these tiny little schools because they had, grade problems in high school, or when they were younger they had problems with, disciplinary issues, or a lot of them, they just come from families that couldn't afford to give them the same kind of advantages that somebody that goes to a big college gets. They just didn't have those kind of opportunities. So instead of going international, I think the NFL should look to some of these D2 schools. Like I said, a lot of these kids are just as talented. They just don't get the spotlight, so therefore they don't get the chance on draft day. There is talent out there, and if it is somebody's passion and calling to play football, they're still going to do it. I mean, parents have a lot to do with encouraging their kids, but if a child comes to you and says, Mommy, I want to play football, this is what I want to do, this is what I feel is my dream, then I think that it's up to the parent to encourage their child. Educate them on ways to be safe in doing it, but, don't stifle your child's dream. I mean, obviously that's easy for me to say, not having kids, but that's my opinion on that. When it comes to basketball and the international players, like you mentioned, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Porzingis, and so many others, and basketball is an international sport. If you look at how it's celebrated outside, it's an Olympic sport. Football's not an Olympic sport. So that's why recruiting internationally for the NBA works, because they play it in other countries, and they play to win and compete in the Olympics in their own leagues, that sort of thing. We're not going to find that in football. If you remember, we had NFL Europe, and that was a total flop. They're trying to make football more international. There's been talks about moving a team over to London, that sort of thing. They play the international games every year, trying to get more fans. They do have the Canadian Football League, and I'm proud to say a lot of my Division II kids have gone on to play up in Canada, so that's great for them. So, that's another recruiting place. We can recruit from the Canadian Football League, that sort of thing. If the Vince McMahon thing goes through, or he's trying to recreate the XFL, that's another chance. There's also a lot of talented players in arena football, too. There's a lot of people that have NFL-level talent. I'm friends with an arena league kicker, and I've seen him on a regulation football field, and he can kick in field goals from 60 yards back just as good as any NFL kicker out there. So, there is talent to be found. We just need to widen the talent search outside of the prestigious schools. We need to go to the places where people are a little bit less fortunate and didn't have those sort of things. We don't need to go outside of this country. There's plenty of people with the skill, talent, and drive and desire to play football right here in America.
All right. Well, God is telling you, sound like Donald Trump. Keep it in America. Don't go outside internationally. So anyway.
Make the NFL great again.
Make the NFL great again, right? CJ, what are you talking about this? Are you on the same wavelength as Goddess Kelly? We're keeping it in America, or should we go out internationally? What's your feel?
Well, I believe that I have a little bit for both of those. In my humble opinion, and don't get this wrong, but the NFL, some of its ways and its mannerisms can go to the wayside. It can disappear. It does hurt children. and a lot of minority children look to football as a way of getting out of their economic struggles, as a way to promote themselves. As Kelli touched on, they don't have the best grades, so they can't get into the Big Ten schools, which then puts another elitist part to football, and how that we place so much precedence on this game that can deny a person their right to speak and their freedom of speech and their actions. And this year, to me, became a real important year for football, and to show me exactly how American you are. Because some person still doesn't have a job, and other people are still working, and they're just going about it like, well, let's not talk about that. These issues are American issues, and that's the reason why taking it overseas is not going to play out too well, because a lot of people are tired of this BS that's been going on in America for so long with certain people and certain social mechanisms that go on here in America. They're tired of them. And not everyone in America is agreeing with this. So therefore, to say, well, it's a matter of a parent, is not really a matter of a parent. It's a matter of, is it physically positive for me to put myself into that position in order for me to get ahead in life? Because other than that, then going from one sport to another, to the other side of the field, what is it for but to make some money? Everybody else is not going to tell their child to go out there and get hurt, no. And I applaud the young people of this day and age in trying to bring this game into the future, whereas perhaps they can do it on a gaming system, which apparently no one over 40 or over 30 really wants to seem to learn how to do, or learn how to interact with, or learn how to see how this could be a better way of showing your talent than trying to be physical. Physicality is not everything. Sometimes we need to try and use some brain power. That's all I'm trying to say here. And when it comes to the NFL, they're not using too much of it lately, and I'd like to see them do a little bit more.
Okay, well, they need to use some brain power, but unfortunately their brains are getting knocked side to side when they're playing football. That's the issue. All right, Dizzy Mack, now you're a former football player. You tell us your opinion about that. Do you want your child to play football?
Yes, I do. Yes, First Lady. Hey, All-American sport, I have no lasting effects from it. I mean, I enjoy it. I think sometimes
I do have to say, I have to interrupt you, Dizzy Mack. For a guy that flies around naked in a bearskin rug, we don't know about them lasting effects. Let me zip it up.
Hey, well, I think the NFL gets it wrong going over to London and Mexico. Yeah, big fan base, but they got soccer as they mean sport. They up there kicking this little white ball. Now, play football. Go to these areas, Canada. Go to some of these areas, Germany, where they're going to be interested in playing some football. Cold weather sport, cold weather country. Get at them. Nah, hey, CTE, yeah, it's a byproduct of the sport. I mean, it happens, unfortunately. We try to make the helmets safer. We try to make the hitting safer. But, hey, unfortunately, every former football player doesn't have CTE or exhibit symptoms. Some do. I mean, again, the fundamentals. We get away from the fundamentals. You don't hit with your head. You hit with your shoulders. You do things right. Get back to the fundamentals. But no. The NFL is here to stay. It's not going nowhere. Long live the NFL.
All right. This is from a former
this
football
commercial
player.
spot has been paid by Roger Goodell.
Go ahead, Steve.
Now, the NFL does not have to worry about finding players to play with talent from the U.S. Even if half the parents, including players, say they don't want their kids to play football, they do not have to weigh how many parents want their kids to be professional boxers. Not too many. Boxing doing fine. How many parents want their kids to be doing mixed martial arts where they're getting kicked in the face, nose bloodied and knocked out and all that kind of stuff. Not too many. The sport is thriving. The NFL needs to do exactly what Goddess Kelli said. Expand the search. And, the other thing is, yes, there are players in the NFL and in professional sports who come from backgrounds that, that come from backgrounds where they ain't have no money. Mama, daddy didn't have no money, or daddy didn't have no money, or mama didn't have, but some didn't have no money. Players in sports all over, you will find that. So it's not like in the NFL, the vast majority of these players came from poor backgrounds. That is not accurate. The vast majority of the players pretty much came from either middle class and some from upper class. And then you got a group who, they was hanging out with Weezy and Popo. But at least Daddy was, and that's where they came from. What the NFL, what works for the NFL is getting that franchise down in Mexico, because Dizzy Mac, you want them to go international, because guess who the folks down in Mexico like? The Raiders. That's more Raider fans say. That's more, so you want them to go international. And President Donald Trump is trying to help the NFL, because he knows that if we get friendly with Vladdy, have you seen how big them Russians is? They hanging out up there, in Galapagos and all that other stuff up in Siberia. It's cold. But have you seen how big they is? Now, that's where they're going to get more players. So, Donald Trump, watch it out for him. Back to you first, Peggy.
Okay. Well, we got a lot of different opinions about this NFL situation. So it's going to be interesting how they expand their league. We had some good suggestions. But anyway, Goddess Kelli, over to you.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion overpowering, over the competition I'm towering. Wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest, that'll all get sliced and diced. Competition paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are not talking about Nadia Kamecki, Misty May and Carrie Walsh, or Peggy Fleming. We are talking about the knockout punch one team will deliver over the other in the Super Bowl. The Pro Bowl gave us some NFL while we wait for the big game. Was the Pro Bowl better this year than last year? Was the skills competition fun to watch? Does the NFL create just the right amount of hype for the game? Is Tom Terrific winning another Super Bowl the big story, or something else? A few of the Patriot coaches are leaving the nest. Is that good for the dynasty? If the Eagles win with Nick Foles, is there a quarterback controversy? If Jay Ajayi is the MVP, what does that say about the Miami Dolphins' decision to trade him? Wilma Rudolph, Venus and Serena Williams, also Mary Lou Retton, are asking, what you saying? Wow, there is a lot to go over this week for this. But it's time. It is time for the Super Bowl. My Philadelphia Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. I have waited since the last time I said that was back in the 2004 season, and you all know what happened then. We got lost. We lost to the Patriots. It has been that long since I have been able to say my team is going to the Super Bowl. So you know what? One team is going to deliver a knockout punch, and it is going to be my Eagles. And the Pro Bowl, I'm going to be honest, you guys, I didn't watch it. I don't care. There's only one more game I care about, and that is going to be the big game. And we all know the Pro Bowl is watered down, stupid football where players don't even want to go. Half the people that make the Pro Bowl votes don't even want to go to the game. They decline the offer. They don't want to get hurt. It's dumb and pointless to me. I've always said that the NFL has got the worst all-star game in all of sports. When it comes to hype, the hype for the Pro Bowl, thumbs down on that. The hype for Super Bowl is just amazing. I mean, if you look at all of the interviews that have been done, all of the stunts, all of the hype videos that are floating around the internet. I mean, some of those Eagles hype videos, I'm not going to lie, I'm a cold, heartless bitch, but I got a little tears in my eye when I saw some of those videos. So the hype for the Super Bowl, I don't know if it's because I'm in Philadelphia or if it's because I have been an Eagles fan for my whole life, but this Super Bowl it's the game. It is like, it's so different than any other Super Bowl ever. So you know what? Tom Terrific, Tom with his old, wrinkly, 40-year-old ass, he is not winning another Super Bowl. That is not going to be the big story. The big story is going to be how Nick Foles, a backup quarterback who everyone said when he came in, the season was over, that the Eagles were going to go one and done, and he has brought them this far, is going to take it home and bring it all the way. But you know what? Even if that happens, there is no quarterback controversy in Philadelphia. There's absolutely not. Nick Foles knows that it's Carson Wentz's job. Everyone on that team knows that it's Carson's job. Mark my words on that. When Nick Foles wins, there will be no controversy whatsoever. Nick Foles is going to get a chance to go get a contract once again as a starter somewhere else, but there's not going to be a controversy in Philadelphia. There is, however, going to be some controversy up in New England in Patriots territory with a lot of those coaches leaving. And then if we look at it, the fact that Tom is going to be going in to be 41 years old now, he's going to go even older, that dynasty is crumbling, and it's crumbling fast. And I don't know how much longer they're going to keep on because tomorrow it is over. And you know what? If a running back wins the MVP and it's Jay Ajayi, those Miami Dolphins are going to be so sorry because they're the ones that said that he was locker room poison. He said he wasn't a team player. But if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I don't know, you guys probably haven't seen anywhere near the number of hype videos I've seen or interviews that I've seen. They're not a team. They're not a squad. These guys, they're a family. And anyone from, you know, the lowest man on the special teams to the head coach to the quarterback, everyone on that team, none of them is more important than the other. You can see that in the way that they interact with each other. They are a family where everyone is equal. So I don't know where Miami got off saying that he was locker room poison and not a team player because he has proven completely otherwise. So they are going to look like complete and utter fools, but that's okay. One man's trash is another man's treasure, and I am happy that we have him. So, First Lady, I know it's a lot to talk about, but what are you saying?
Well, you said you didn't watch the Pro Bowl. I actually sat down and watched the Pro Bowl, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched a Pro Bowl game in a long time. And I just actually watched it. I said, you know, let me see what's going on with this Pro Bowl game. And unfortunately, the weather in Orlando was horrible, so that's what really contributed to such bad play in the Pro Bowl. You really didn't see all of the offense that you wanted to and that you expect in a Pro Bowl game. But the thing about it, it was exciting because it came down to the end of the game to determine the winner. So that was really was good. And the funny thing about it, Von Miller, he hit Goff, and that was actually a hard hit. And, you know, he hit him at the end of the game and caused a fumble. And then when they went and interviewed Von Miller, because I believe he was the defensive player of the game, he acted very surprised that he wasn't allowed to hit that hard. That was interesting. He didn't even know the real rules of the Pro Bowl because, you know, they're not calling, you know, players to hit really hard, and that's why when the running backs ran, when they tried to tackle them, they really tackled them standing up. They didn't really knock them on the ground, but somebody forgot to give Von Miller the message or the memo because he definitely did hit Goff real hard. I didn't watch the skills competition, so I mean, I'm quite sure it probably was good. From my understanding, that's probably the best part of the weekend. I really don't get excited about the Pro Bowl weekend the way I do celebrate the NBA weekend. The NBA weekend is fantastic. I've been to several NBA weekends, and the NFL can't even compare to how the NBA put on their All-Star weekend. I know that the NFL, I mean, they try to hype up the Pro Bowl game. I mean, I guess they do the best that they can with the situation that they're working with because the Pro Bowl game is not exciting. So how can you hype something up that's not exciting? One of the problems I think they had actually was to have it in Orlando. I guess they should go back and have it in Hawaii. I mean, I don't know why they removed it from Hawaii. For years, it was always in Hawaii. I mean, I'm quite sure the players prefer to go to Hawaii than go to Orlando. And the weather in Florida is just unpredictable. That's the problem when you play in Florida. Anything can happen in Florida. So, but the one thing I think that they need to do with the Pro Bowl, they need to move it from the week before the Super Bowl. They need to move it the week after the Super Bowl. Now, that might seem kind of crazy because everybody says, oh, it ends with the Super Bowl. That's a big game. But one thing when you move the Pro Bowl to the end of the Super Bowl, I mean, the week after the Super Bowl, you're allowing all the players to be eligible because, you know, let's face it, those players can't play because they got to play in the Super Bowl. They risk potential injury. But if you have it after the Super Bowl, it gives the NFL a chance to continue with the momentum of the football, and then once you have the Pro Bowl, that moves into, you know, free agency. So it just continues to prolong the season for the NFL, and I think that's what they should do to Pro Bowl. But enough talking about the Pro Bowl. Yes, God is Kelly. We're talking about the NFL Super Bowl is here, and it seemed like it took forever, but we're talking about 2 weeks that Bill Belichick has time to plan for the Eagles. Yes, the Eagles have a great defense, but I'm sorry, the Patriots and that man, Tom Terrific, he knows how to win Super Bowl, and that's the big story about this year's Super Bowl, is because Tom Terrific is at the age of 40, and he's playing in a Super Bowl, and he's going to win it. And he's winning it with the potential around the cloud over the Patriots, because there seems to be a lot of talk that Bill Belichick might be leaving the Patriots after this season. And you want to know why? Because they're saying he's acting very strange at in Minnesota. He's been very talkative, very nice, answering a lot of the questions, coming up with a lot of different things. And he wore his hat that his father saw, I believe, the last time he first watched him in the Super Bowl game. And that was very sentimental to him. He wore that hat, and he looked pretty good in the hat too. So I mean, there's just a lot of things coming up that Bill Belichick, he's very personable at this particular Super Bowl, and that's the reason is because they said it's going to be his last Super Bowl game with the Patriots. And I don't know. I have a tendency to agree that I don't think he's going to be there after this season. So to me, that's the big story. That's the big story. And, you know, as far as Nick Foles, we all know there is definitely no quarterback controversy. And you are absolutely correct, Goddess Kelly. There is no way that Nick Foles is going to take over Carson Wentz's job. He is the quarterback for the Eagles, and that's the way it is. They're just glad that they have Nick Foles and he's playing well. Like I said, I've been voting against Nick Foles, but again, his success definitely will end this weekend. And as far as Jay Ajayi, let me just put it this way. It had nothing to do with his talent. He was just a pain in the ass to Adam Gase. Adam Gase doesn't like Jay Ajayi, and that's the reason why he got rid of him. If you remember when Adam Gase first came to the Dolphins, he benched Ajayi in the first, I think he dismissed him from the team for a week, because Jay Ajayi runs his mouth too much. He's always complaining, and that's the reason why Adam Gase got rid of him. He doesn't want a complainer on his team. So it has nothing to do with Jay Ajayi's talent. Nothing at all. All right, well, let me tell you something, Goddess Kelly. I don't think the Eagles are going to win this Super Bowl. I mean, I grew up in South Jersey, so I've always been an Eagles fan, but I just have to go with my gut feeling. I'm sorry. The Eagles are not going to do well. They won't be flying high this weekend.
So, you know what, First Lady, we don't need your support because we all we got, we all we need. Mac, what do you have to say?
Well, it's going to be the Patriots. The Patriots way, baby. Yeah. Belichick may not be there next year, but he'll be there tomorrow. Hoodie on, doing his thing, masterminding. And Tom Brady is going to get that 6. Giselle wants it. Family wants it. He's going to get that number 6 ring. He's going to be just like Mike. 6 rings. He's going to be doing it. And, yeah, Nick Foles should have lost to the Falcons. He was lucky. He's been lucky. Been lucky ever since he threw them 7 touchdown passes against the Raiders. Luck. Couldn't do it again against this Raiders defense. Luck. Yeah. I mean, got it. I know you're a Philly-bred, fan. But no, they ain't going to win. They're going to have controversy. They're going to knock Ajay out of the game. He's going to be running his mouth from the sidelines, where it's not going to do any good. He's going to the next destination, wherever I have him, probably up there in Minnesota somewhere. But no, it's going to be the Patriots way, Patriots day. Patriots going to be lifting that trophy up and up. Kraft, Belichick, and Brady. Ain't no controversy in New England. All they do is win championships. Yeah. I remember the Eagles. Rod Martin, Jim Plunkett, Cliff Branch. I know you don't want to hear them names, guys, but we remember them Eagles playing like chicks. New England. It's not going to be on quarterback controversy because Nick Foles is going to parlay this into a big-time contract someplace. He's going to leave Carson Wentz without a backup. So when he gets hurt again, there's not going to be nobody to turn to. So sad. Too bad. The Patriots, baby.
If there is one thing about people from Philadelphia, it's we thrive on the fact that people hate us, that people underestimate us, that people think that we can't get it done. They said it in the beginning of the season. They said that Doug Peterson had no business being a head coach in the NFL. They said that we were going to be last in the NFC East. They said we were going to be one and done in the playoffs. And now they are saying we can't win the Super Bowl. I say screw what they say because we have proved them wrong every turn, every step of the way this season. And we will continue to do it because this is our year. Our year. CJ, talk some sense into these people.
I'm sorry to let them down. Goddess, I really do. But we both know people in Philly, they don't have to talk about it. They be about it. They just do it. And tomorrow, after the game, and we all will see what happens then, which we know is going to happen because those Eagles are just going to be flying high. The Patriots might be able to shed a tear. We can't tell them anything right now. Only thing they can do is just sit there and say, yes, they want their 6. And if they don't get it, that's going to be the big story. The big story is going to be they talked about the Eagles from day one, especially next to the Bears. So the Bears didn't do anything. But watch out next year. The Phillies showed them. MVP decided to trade him. That was the best thing for him. The best thing for the Eagles. You can see what he can do. He's showing you on the field, not in the locker room. He's making his check. And I don't think he's going anywhere, and neither will Nick Foles. He's going to be right there with the family. Like you said, we have to get it done when it has to get done. He knows where his bread is buttered. Why go someplace when he knows he has an ace in the hole? I brought you this far. Just let me sit back and rest for a minute. That's all he wants to do. After the game, about the Patriots are going to have a dynasty. They've already had their dynasty. We've been looking at it. Tom Terrific, 40 years old. Hey, play till you're 60. Just keep bringing them in. That's all we can ask. So the Eagles can keep pushing them back down. Wouldn't that be nice to have this happen again every year instead of waiting from 04 till now? Well, no, actually it couldn't be that though, the Bears and the Phillies. But what can you say? We can dream, can't you? No. Pro Bowl, it would be nice if they just called it the Puppy Bowl. You know, number 2 tries harder, give them their trip. That's the reason why it used to be so popular back in the day. All those teams that didn't win but had stars on their team, they sent them to Hawaii with their wives to have a good time and play a little fun footsie football. Do that again. It'll probably work. Then they can actually knock them out. But that's the only thing I can say, Goddess. I'm sorry.
You know what, DJ? You didn't let me down. All right, Spitface, we are tied. 2 for the Patriots, 2 for the Eagles. Break this tie. What you saying?
What I'm saying is that after Nick Foles wins the Super Bowl and gets the MVP, there will be a quarterback controversy in Philadelphia land, and I feel for Carson Wentz. I feel for Carson Wentz because if Carson Wentz not being hurt, he's the MVP of the league. Okay, but I feel for him because he's gonna be under so much pressure after that championship win, with Nick Foles playing lights out, that, he's gonna be under the gun. So I feel for Carson Wentz, but Carson, don't worry, because they're gonna trade Nick Foles, and he's gonna be under a lot of pressure, whatever team he go to, because they're gonna go, well, you won the Super Bowl for Philadelphia, so you need to be doing something for us too. So both y'all boys gonna be under a lot of pressure, but the good news is y'all getting paid. Nick Foles about to get that nice fat contract, and the Pro Bowl, I ain't talking about that. that's my guy. Pro Bowl, I ain't talking about that. And I will say the big story coming out of the Super Bowl is going to be Nick Foles. That's all I'm saying.
And you didn't let me down. All right. On that happy Eagles note, take us to break.
The first 2 listeners to email us or send a shout-out while the ladies are grouped together will receive a $25 gift card from our partners at NFLshop.com and Victoria's Secret. Here's your hint.
Free.
Salute.
Free Mr. Bond.
What happened?
We just ready for you to take us to break.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from Fall of Man and the first part of shout-out. I heard somebody talking.
Free Mr. Bond.
Go Nick Foles.
The music flows in and around the globe to get a shout-out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Fall of Man.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout-out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. Today, we're featuring the music from Fall of Man. Men falling. Okay, let's hear DJ Hallways and Doors.
Cannot cannot find a light. Running down the hallway in the middle of the night. I'm looking for a way out, but I can't find a light. Run, run, the middle of the night. I wanna run and hide. Run, run, the middle of the night. I wanna go outside, but I'll be running down the hallway in the middle of the night. Looking for a way out when I cannot find a running around in circles, spinning spirals on the floor. Every time I run in circles, I can never ever find a the middle of the night. I wanna run and hide. Run, run, the middle of the night. I wanna go outside, but I'll be running down the hallway in the middle of the night. And I'm looking for an answer when I cannot find a
All right, well, that's Fall of Man. So let's go to our panel to see if they're going to be getting a shout-out or we're going to hit the mute button. Goddess Kelli, now last week you enjoyed Carolyn Gaines with her music. How do you feel about Fall of Man?
Well, when it first started with the guitar riff, I was all like, all right, I might like this. It's got like that kind of alternative vibe to it. This is cool. I'm ready to give this a shout out. And then she started singing, and I was all like, all right, this is like some kind of cheap Evanescence ripoff. She's no Amy Lee, but I mean, it's still kind of cool. Maybe I'll just give it a yo. And then the song just didn't end, and it became so repetitive, and it completely lost me about the middle of the song, and I was done, and I was ready to mute it at that point. So, Fall of Man, Fall Away, I want to run and hide from that song. Way too long.
Okay, so let's get in the mute button. CJ, how did you like Fall
I was
of Man?
in the hallway. Then I got in the door, and it hit me. And then I got back in another hallway, and another door. I don't know. It started
You're
out
confused.
like on a good thing, but then I got in the hallways. I'm going to give them a try harder.
Okay. Dizzy Mac, how do you feel about Fall of Man song?
Oh. The torture finally ended. It finally ended. We hit the mute button on that one. That was just like, bring me down and keep me down. With your singing. Oh, ah.
All right. Spitface.
I like it, the track. I'm giving it a shout out. I thought I liked the young lady singing. My headbanger buddy, his head was going up and down. So, I'm giving this shout out. I thought it was kind of tight.
Sensei, you and I are on the same path this time because I agree with you. I thought the song was okay. I mean, it wasn't spectacular, but it does deserve a shout out. So, I mean, her singing wasn't that bad. I mean, I've heard worse. I mean, I'm not saying that it's an overwhelmingly song to be excited about, but I don't think I would hit the mute button. I think it deserves to be played for that particular audience. Some people like that type of music, so I think they stayed in their lane and they were okay. So I'm definitely going to shout it out. So on part 2 of Shout Out, we'll hear another performance from Fall of Man. And do I hear the sound of my favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
All right, it's time for Flip It, where I host the fin, point, and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. Alex Smith was traded from a team that uses a Native American name that Native Americans don't find offensive to a team whose name, logo, and mascot are offensive to Native Americans. No Native Americans were hurt or injured in the development of this segment. Now, we asked the panel, who got the better deal, Kansas City or Alex Smith? Defend. KC is sitting pretty. They got the better deal. Dizzy Mac, defend.
Well, I think Alex Smith got the better deal.
Yeah, but you got to defend that KC is sitting pretty that they got the better deal because this is Flip It.
Well, you got the young gun, Mahomes. Younger, bigger upside than Alex Smith at this point. So, yeah, KC got the better deal. They got that man when they picked him at number 10 or 11, and now he's able to be inserted into Andy Reid's system and go from there. Alex Smith, hey, we were tired of you and KC underachieving, just looking like another pedestrian quarterback when we losing. After these prolonged losing streaks. We start off hot, but then you're not. Nah, Casey got the better deal. Younger, better, stronger, faster, more upside. KC, give me some of that barbecue.
Dizzy Mac always been partial to them ribs. KC is sitting pretty. They got the better deal. Our own Philadelphia Eagles. Got his Kelli defend.
Well, I do have a lot of criticism when it comes to the coaching of Andy Reid, the fact that he can't manage a clock. He's got, no fourth quarter red zone. But when it comes to this particular deal, Alex Smith started the year amazing for him. After the first quarter of the football season, everybody was saying, KC's going to take it all the way. And then he played like complete and utter crap, and then he started to come back. And he's just completely inconsistent, and that's not what you want to see in your franchise quarterback. So, Kansas City has got a lot of young talent on that team, and Alex Smith has proven to them that he can't play a full season worth of football. So, it was time to move on and go to the next solution. So this is what they need to do if they're going to take advantage of that young talent while they're still young. Definitely the better deal for KC.
All right. KC got the better deal. They're sitting pretty. CJ, who knows her way around a real place herself.
That's right.
Defend.
They had to. That was the best thing. It was a win-win. But the better deal came from the case for the team. And they had to take one for the team. So they had to look sad for a minute that Alex Smith left them. They put on a sad face for a moment. But in the end, they were very happy because they know in 2 or 3 years that other team, which we will not talk about until we get on to that side, will be stuck with them.
So they'll be stuck with them. All right, but we're never stuck. We're always graced by the presence of the First Lady, the fan.
Well, we talked about Andy Reid, the coach, the poor job he did in the playoffs. But as an executive, well, he's done an excellent job because Alex Smith was not in their future. Pat Mahomes is their future. He's like the Patriots' Jimmy Garoppolo. But unlike the Patriots, the Chiefs, they want to play him now. So Smith had to go. He was not going to be signed after his contract expired. So Reid was able to pay a third-round draft pick and receiving Kendall Fuller, a young quarterback with an upside, and another thing, he has a reasonable contract. I mean, Andy Reid, he's not a great playoff coach, but he sure pulled off a great trade for KC, and that's going to allow him to keep his job for another year. After that disastrous postseason, KC is sitting pretty during the off season.
So the First Lady is saying that instead of voting for Trump, we should have voted for Andy Reid. And who would have thought that he was the master of the deal? But this is flipping, where we flip the script and defend the opposing team, the opposing view, leaving the team that doubts you and drafts your replacement. Alex Smith got a better deal. Dizzy Mack, the fan.
Alex Smith got the better deal. He got out from underneath Andy Reid. That's a lot of weight to get up out from under over there at KC. And he's able to get a veteran team going someplace. He's well-versed in the offense that Jay Gruden has in Washington. He's able to use his legs more. He's able to do the things that Jay Gruden needs to have done on the field without having to mold and shape nobody and hope that they can get it. Yeah, Alex Smith got a better deal. He got up out of a place that didn't want him, that was already counting his days when they drafted the quarterback, to a place where, hey, he's the number one. He's going to be the number one, and ain't nobody going to take his spot. And, he can stop eating all that barbecue, all them burnt ends, some ribs and brisket. He's able to eat a little bit better cuisine in Washington and have a better chance at making the playoffs. Yeah, he got the better deal. Alex Smith, what's up, bro?
All right, Alex Smith. CJ, Alex Smith getting out of town, he got to get the better deal, the fan.
Well, he went from KC up to Chocolate City, huh? Shows you how much he wanted to get out from under that weight. Yes, I'll believe that. But I think he just wanted to play a little bit more. And even if it had to mean swallow a little crow, not mentioning a few little names in here and there, he said, these folks aren't that bad after all. Maybe I can look over a name or so, and maybe I can get me a ring this way. A check is a check, and this one's looking a little bit better for him than the other side on Kansas City, because they might not have kept him around another year or two. Now he can go up to Washington. He might be able to fool them, get into the playoffs and say maybe next year. After that, he can retire. He'll be all right.
Dollar bill, baby, dollar bill. Okay. Goddess Kelly, are you wearing Eagles mascara? At first I thought she was a leprechaun. Wait, at first I thought she was a leprechaun. But go Eagles, go Eagles. The fan.
Actually, it's not Eagles mascara. It's Eagles eyeshadow and eyeliner. I've got, the eyeshadow in a sparkly green, and then I've got the eyeliner in a deep midnight green. It's my game look. But anyway, when it comes to Alex Smith, he absolutely got the better deal. I mean, he got out from a team that proved that they don't believe in him. And he's getting to go to Washington, where he's got a team that is starting to rebuild, that needs a quarterback that's better than Kirk Cousins, because you know what? You guys know what I think about Kirk Cousins. the worst part about this deal for Alex Smith is the fact that now he's got to play in the division with the Eagles and face us twice a year. That's the worst part about it for him. But he also got this huge contract extension out of this. So he's coming up on top. He is getting the money. He's coming to the East Coast. He's going to be rolling in it. So, yeah, get your money out. You got a damn good deal.
All right, okay. He rolling. All right, and if he can just split with the Eagles, they got a chance of making it to the playoffs next year. First Lady, the Sin.
Well, Smith was always the scapegoat in KC, so and he's not appreciated there. So he definitely now can take his talents to Washington. And the great thing for Smith, Washington has several offensive targets that can really actually make him look good. Really make him look good. And the other thing about it, Jay Gruden runs a similar offense that Smith can't exceed in. So, he likes to throw them short passes. So that's the type of, I think, what do they call that? What is it called? The West Coast offense. So that's the way Jay Gruden likes to run his plays. So that's really good for Smith. And like Goddess Kelly said, the best part of the deal was the fact that he did get a 4-year extension with a high percentage of that guaranteed. Who would have thought that Alex Smith would get 4 years guaranteed money? My goodness, that's just excellent for him. So he has a chance to start new, and he can put that KC experience behind him, and it is quite obvious that Washington really, really wants him because they agreed to that deal. So, yeah, Smith got the better end of that stick, but I don't know about the Washington Redskins. Oops, I forgot. We're not supposed to say that word. Anyway.
I didn't say it. Okay, tribe, don't get us. We had, hey, but I will like to add on that Alex got enough in that contract where he can order him some KC barbecue flown in. CJ, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
I done watched that damn promo.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the funnies. With CJ, over to you.
I think we have something interesting for the panel and our listeners. Hasbro introduces new version of Monopoly for cheaters. Hasbro has announced a new version of Monopoly that rewards cheating and features handcuffs for those caught in the act. Monopoly Cheaters Edition, which is set for release this fall, offers 15 cheat cards with 5 placed in the middle of the board that asks players to carry out nefarious tasks, including removing hotels, moving another player's token, and stealing extra money from the bank that is without an assigned banker. Rewards for carrying out the cheat card successfully without getting caught include extra cash or free properties, while those caught will be sent to jail and potentially handcuffed to the board. Some DNS there. In the new version, some properties on the board cost less than the original version, including Pennsylvania Avenue, which is free for whoever lands on it first. A recent study conducted by Hasbro revealed that nearly half of the game players attempt to cheat during Monopoly games. So in 2018, we decided it was time to give fans what they've been craving all along, a Monopoly game that actually encouraging cheating. Senior Vice President of Hasbro, Jonathan Berkowitz, said to Insider, Monopoly...
CJ, Bernie Madoff would be proud of this game.
Yeah, right.
They need to, instead of calling this Monopoly for Cheaters Edition, why don't they just be straight up and go Donald Trump? Monopoly, the Donald Trump edition. They might, why they trying to be all shy about it? Monopoly, Donald Trump edition.
This is Monopoly Cheaters Edition, teaching your children from ages 8 and up for $19.99. So when you wonder why they learned, where they learned it from first, it started now. Look out 20 years from now. It's going to be even worse than it is now. If your water is splashing, gosh darn, it's time for our underwater friend, and it's time for Flip It.
Yes, it's time for Flip It. I know we flipped on LeBron last week, and we are going to do it again. Would LeBron going to the Warriors be a good move for his legacy? Panel, we got to defend this. This would be a horrible move in sports. You want to beat the best. Goddess Kelli, defend.
Well, the biggest criticism when it comes to the NBA is there is no parity. It's always the same team. We've had Golden State Warriors versus Cleveland Cavaliers 3 years in a row. You know what? I'm a Cavs fan. I mean, that was kind of cool to me because that's my team. But when it comes down to it, it's bad for the league. It's terrible to have one team completely and utterly stacked and everybody else is, just trying to take down some juggernaut. It's one Goliath and then 29 Davids. You don't want to see that. It's bad for parity, and that's why the NBA has been failing recently because people are sick of the same things over and over again. When you can predict the final before the season even starts, it's kind of like spoiler alert, why even bother watching the game?
All right, Goddess Kelly. You said it's bad for the league, but I don't know if it's bad for LeBron's legacy. That's the question. All right, CJ, defend. This would be a horrible move in sports. You want to beat the best. What do you think?
Well, you always want to beat the best. And therefore, if he did move over there, it would just be a done deal. Who would want to play? It would be like, take all your marbles and let's go home. So, yeah, it would be a good move if his legacy, if he would move his legacy there. It would be horrible. Just horrible.
It's horrible, horrible. Okay, it's a horrible move. Dizzy Mac, defend. This would be a horrible move in sports. You want to beat the best.
Horrible. Going over there to Golden State, who beat you twice. I mean, you can't do it, LeBron. You might as well stay in Cleveland. Can't do it. Can't run it from team to team, thinking that you can create a big three like you did in Miami. Horrible move. It would be flakier than a, biscuit. Can't do it. Don't do it, LeBron. Don't do it. Don't do it, son.
All right, Dizzy Mac. Spitface. Everybody seems to think this is a horrible move. Continue on with that. Explain why this is a horrible move for LeBron.
This would be a totally horrible move for LeBron. His legacy would be, come on. It would be like if Kobe had said, you know what, I'm going to leave the Lakers and go play with the Heat so that I can get another ring or two. Because now I ain't got the team to do it. And it's like, it would just be funky. That's all I'm saying.
That's all you're saying. Well, people complain about Kevin Durant leaving OKC to Golden State being a weak move. If LeBron leaves Cleveland to Golden State, this would be the worst move in sports history. It would be worse than the decision when he left to Miami. LeBron needs to beat Golden State, not join them. His legacy would be tarnished because he would be known as a star that wants to chase rings. Kobe never left. Jordan got his rings by staying with the Bulls. I really don't mind LeBron leaving Cleveland because, he did keep his promise and delivered them a championship. But he can't go to a team, the Warriors. He can go to any team he wants except for the Warriors. All right, this is where we got to flip the script. Panel, you need to defend. If Kevin Durant can do it, LeBron's legacy will be fine with another ring, even if it's playing for the Warriors. CJ, defend.
Oh, he's not worried about playing for basketball anymore. Didn't you see his little girl? She's got his nose wide open. Yeah, if he goes over there and plays for Golden State, he'll be closer to Disneyland. Daddy, I want to go to Disneyland. Let's go. Let's get in the helicopter right now. Yeah, let's do it. That's what's going to happen. He don't care no more. Now you can see it. He's a daddy, and he's starting to feel like one. That daddy's girl's got him. He'll be just fine. And another ring to go along with it, so he can keep being daddy. She can keep being daddy's girl, too.
Okay, Daddy's little girl.
Yeah, can you keep it?
Daddy's little girl. That's going to keep him. Who cares about his legacy? Goddess Kelly, defend.
I mean, everybody's always talking about LeBron's legacy, but when you have a LeBron hater, his legacy was already tarnished when he went to the Miami Heat, when he left Cleveland there. Yeah, he came back, got us the championship, but if he leaves again, the same haters are going to go in with the whole blah, 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 legacy, why you got to do that to Cleveland, and why you got to go to the team you can't be when you were criticizing Durant to do it. But when it comes down to it, there is so many people in the NBA who are not fans of Cleveland. They're not fans of Miami. They're fans of LeBron. And those people are going to stand by LeBron no matter what he does. The biggest criticism on LeBron's legacy is the fact that he doesn't have as many rings as Jordan. And that's why a lot of people will always consider Michael Jordan the GOAT, the greatest of all time, and not LeBron because of the rings. If LeBron, in his age now, can go to a team where he can get more rings, he can put a stop to those arguments. He can shut those people down once and for all who say that he's not as good as Jordan. So, I mean, people that hate LeBron, they're going to continue to hate. People that love him are going to continue to love him. His legacy is going to remain the same.
Okay, it's just the way it is. They're either going to love him or hate him. Spitface, defend.
Yeah, it's all about the rings. And all LeBron need is some good old-fashioned PR. And if he uses that PR, because the way the story could be written is that the only player to go to 3 different teams and win championships. Nobody has ever done that feat, to go to 3 different teams and win. Well, I take that back, because there might have been that guy who was on San Antonio who played for the Lakers. And did he play for another championship team? There might be one, but no one of LeBron. He did get 3 different. Well, he'd be but of LeBron's. I say caliber. And if he goes to the Golden State Warriors and they win 2 back-to-back, he's sitting pretty. His legacy is fine. That's all I mean.
Sitting pretty with that legacy. Dizzy Mac, defend.
His legacy would be cool in the game if he went to the Warriors. Again, look at Robert Big Shot Bob Horry. Big part of, 3 teams going, for the ring, getting them. LeBron will be fine. Hey, he's already one of the best players ever to do it. So that's secure. So he just going to teams and just winning championships. All that just says is, hey, he just want to win. He'll go wherever he needs to fit in and win. His legacy is secure.
All right, his legacy is secured. Well, I take it this way: the players of this generation, they're about competing against their friends. They all, they want to have alliances. That's basically what they want. The decision was about LeBron playing with D-Wade. Why do you think Durant went to Golden State? He wanted to have an alliance with Stephen Curry. So it's not about competing. It's about having these alliances. And then they want to play with each other. That's why they want to bring LeBron into the fold at Golden State, because they like to have fun with LeBron. It's about playing with your buddies. LeBron has leveraged his contract, so he can do what he wants to do at free agency. He can go anywhere he chooses, just like KD. Hey, let's get over this, because this is the new normal for the NBA. All right, Goddess Kelly, over to you for some jambalaya. What do you have cooking for us today?
All right, well, this jambalaya is a little bit lighter and more fun than last week's jambalaya. So here we go. Light travels faster than sound. That's why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. So, panel, how does this quote relate to Steve Kerr blaming his mishap on technology? After the Golden State Warriors coach found himself in hot water late Thursday night for tweeting and promptly deleting a post calling the NBA's rule enforcement an embarrassment. Well, I watched the interview with Steve Kerr where he blamed it on his iPhone. And, I mean, come on, dude. That's a lame excuse. My 8-year-old nephew knows how to use an iPhone. If he can figure it out, you're a basketball coach. You can figure out how to use an iPhone. iPhones are made for people that aren't smart enough to use Android phones. Anybody can use an iPhone. My mother, who used to have to call me to figure out how to copy and paste her resume when she was searching for a job, she has an iPhone and she knows how to use it. So Steve Kerr, yeah, just forget about those excuses. Nobody is buying that. You're making yourself sound a lot dumber. I mean, the whole thing, though, I don't think the tweet was as bad as a lot of people say it was. Granted, an NBA coach shouldn't be criticizing rule enforcement for another team, especially when it was about James Harden on the Houston Rockets, who's going to be pretty much the only competition in the West for the Golden State Warriors. So, I mean, the whole thing was kind of dumb. He did delete it, but as everyone knows, once you put something up on the internet, it doesn't matter how fast you take it down, somebody was there ready for a screenshot. So think a little harder and what? Own your mistakes. Don't blame it on technology. Come on. First Lady, what do you think?
Well, I mean, he said he was supposed to do a direct message. Instead, it went as a tweet. I mean, he wasn't too bright what he said, and of course, he was complaining about the situation. But I just think, like you said, he just made a stupid mistake to blame it on technology. Technology is only as good as the person using the technology. So he wasn't too smart using the technology that he didn't know how to do a direct message. I didn't know, can you direct message with tweeting? Anyway, but that's a different story. I guess you can. So Steve Kerr, get over it. Just let everybody know you got caught and you should not blame it on no technology.
All right. Dizzy Mac, what do you think?
Steve Kerr, that was a weak-ass excuse. Stand up like a man, admit it. Hey, you think the man is traveling. It looks like traveling when he's going to the left. But, hey, stand behind it. Don't give no excuses. You sent it off. You knew what you were doing. You tweeted before. If you haven't tweeted before, you shouldn't be tweeting now. So you knew what you were doing. Stand up. Like
all right, CJ.
Well,
CJ, what do you think?
I'm sorry, but Steve Kerr got caught up with like a lot of these people who I think that they're into the modern age, but they're really not. What they should be doing is hiring people like Sabor instead of the agency that he hired. And I would have made sure that he knew what he was tweeting before it came out. See, that's what happened. That's the technology that he's talking about. See, he was paying someone to be kind of like his manager or his overseer of his tweets. But see, what happened was this person got a little overzealous, I believe, and pushed that tweet out. Now, when he saw it, because he gets that 5-second or 10-second thing to accept or not to accept, it didn't work fast enough. And when he deleted it, he meant it for it to be deleted because he didn't really want to say it, but it had already gotten out there. And that's just a word to the wise of people in public places and having people actually being for you. You need to make sure that they have some type of mechanism in store for you so that that doesn't happen. He just got caught up in technology. He's right. He did. 5 seconds seems like a short time. You should be able to do things. But in today's technology, 5 seconds can kill you. As you can see, not fast enough to delete.
All right.
First off, I'm going to say the same thing that I done said for years. Stay away from the tweeting. Leave Tweety Bird alone. That's your best way to handle it. Just leave it alone. That way you ain't got to worry about deleting. You ain't got to worry about, did I send the send button? And if you do, don't act like a player, because that's what the players do. Oh, I accidentally, somebody hacked into my Twitter account. You supposed to be the head coach. And you go sit up here and not just stand up and say, yeah, I said it. That's right. That coaching was an embarrassment. You want to fine me? Don't take that too seriously. Fine me. But you either stand for something or you fall for everything. That's all I'm saying.
Well, if Ted Cruz can tweet out porn and our president can tweet out whatever he wants, you know what? Leave Steve Kerr alone. At least he tried to delete it. But CJ, go ahead, take us.
Hey, guys, did you get that link to the porn?
No, I deleted it.
Oh, darn it. Did Mac, you got it?
On the other side of break, we have another performance from Fall of Man and shout out. Please stay tuned. Tweet, 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 tweet. You are now listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for Shout Out, Part 2, the picks and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout out from the crew. Goddess Kelli, over to you.
We have got another performance from Fall of Man. So DJ, let's hear Glory. right, that was Glory. There is the track getting a shout out or the mute button. I need to digest this one a little, so I'm not going to go first this time. First Lady, what did you think?
Oh, I'm definitely going to shout that out. I actually like that one better than I did the first one. And, I told her the first song, I said her voice was okay and everything, the song was okay. But this one, I like this song. I like the intro with the long guitar intro, and her voice was excellent. I really like this one. That was flying high with that one.
All right, Dizzy Mac, what about you? What do you think?
I'm going to shout it out. Now, that's a football song. That's a football get your mind right song right there. Yeah, we shouting that out.
All right, CJ, what about you?
Me too. I think that's a song you can play a scene on.
All right, and Spitface?
Well, coming from a hip place, I didn't really like the intro. Once they got into it, it was groovy. So I'm going to go where my head banger friend is sitting over here banging his head, so I'm giving it a shout out.
I'm trying so hard to like this track because it's the closest thing to really my style of music that we've had on this show. So I'm trying so hard to like it, but it's coming off to me like a ripoff of like Evanescence or Flyleaf or Kitty or like one of those kind of bands. And I mean, she doesn't have the charisma of an Amy Lee or Tyler Monston. She just doesn't have that charisma to me. But I loved the intro. I loved the ending of it. It just needs a little more originality and a little more charisma. So I'm going to give this one a yo. But that's the end of Shout Out. And if you like what you heard from Fall of Man, you can check them out at fallofmanband.com. And if you would like to be heard or have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to panties@oldrunkyradio.com. Now the part of the show I've been waiting for, over to First Lady for the picks.
You've been waiting for First Lady and them picks.
I'm waiting. She's leaving me waiting.
It's time for the picks. Will I keep my crown or will a new champion rise? The final game of the season is here. For time's sake, we're just going to go over the current standings. And the current standings right now is Goddess Kelli is leading the way with 16,512,000 points. It's a mouthful. You got a lot of points, Goddess Kelli. Coming up second is CJ. She has 7,968,000 points. I have 7,501,000 points. Dizzy Mac, you have 550,000 points. And Spitface, I'm sad to report, you have a negative 15,527,000 points.
What?
Yes, he had a rough week. But anyway, let's get to the game. We're talking about the Super Bowl game. Eagles versus the Patriots. 3 million for the right answer and a negative 3 million for the incorrect answer. I am going with the Patriots, as I said earlier. CJ, you're going with the Eagles?
Eagles, I'm flying high.
Goddess Kelli, you're going with the Eagles?
Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory.
Bitface, you're going with who?
I'm flying with the Eagles.
You flying with the Eagles. You flying high too. And Dizzy Mac, you are going with the Patriots?
Yes, the Patriots.
All right, let's get to some fun. We got the hodgepodge. We got 10 options here. First option, Nick Foles, more passing yards than Tom Brady. 4 million for the correct answer, minus 4 million for the incorrect answer. I'm going to start off. I'm going to say no. CJ.
No. Hades, no.
Goddess Kelli.
No.
What did you say, Goddess Kelli?
We've got a ground game. Hello. Come on now.
No. All right, Spitface.
I say Nick Foles will have more passing yards than Tom Brady. He's going to have a breakout game.
That's why you got negative 15 million, Spitface. Anyway, moving along. Dizzy Mac.
No.
No. All right, let's move to option 2. Gronk has only 1 TD, $4 million for the right answer, negative $4 million for the wrong answer. Now, remember, you don't have to always take the option. CJ.
No.
Goddess Kelly.
Hell no, 0 TDs.
Spitface.
Gronk will only have one TD.
So you say yes.
Yep.
Dizzy Mac.
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
What?
I think he's going to have more than one TD. Option 3, Eagles more takeaways. Eagles more takeaways. $5 million for the correct answer, minus $8 million for the wrong answer. Goddess Kelly.
Yes.
Spitface.
Yes.
Dizzy Mac.
New England will have more takeaways.
Okay. CJ.
Yes.
I'm going to say no.
What?
Eagles will not have more takeaway. I say the Patriots. Remember, these are the quick yes or no answers. So, Dizzy Mac, you said no. CJ, you said yes, correct?
Right.
All right, let's move along. Option 4, 0 missed field goals. $5 million for the correct answer, minus $8 million for the incorrect answer. Spitface.
I am passing on the option.
Okay, you're going to pass. I don't blame you. Dizzy Mac.
Yes, there will be a missed field goal.
So you say no. Okay. All right. I say no. CJ?
I say no.
And Goddess Kelly?
I'm going to pass this option.
Okay. Option 5, field goal will determine the win. $6 million for the right answer, minus $2 million for the incorrect answer. I say no. CJ?
No.
Goddess Kelly?
No.
Spitface? You didn't seem too sure about that answer. Spitface?
I'm passing on the option.
Well, Spitface passing, you need some points. All right, Dizzy Mac.
No.
No. Okay, option number 6. Patriots outrush Eagles. I say no. CJ?
No.
Goddess Kelly?
Hell no.
Hell to the no. Spitface.
Patriots will outrush the Eagles.
And Dizzy Mac.
Yes.
Okay. Option 7. Patriots have more penalties. CJ?
No.
Goddess Kelly?
When has that ever happened? No.
Spitface.
Yes.
Dizzy Mac.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to say no, but my goodness. I'm riding with Goddess Kelly. I got to beat her. All right. And option number 8. Eagles defense has more sacks than Patriots. Dizzy Mac.
No.
I'll say no. CJ.
Eagles.
Eagles defense has more sacks than Patriots. So you say yes. Goddess Kelly.
Longcox is coming for that Brady ass. Yes.
Spitface.
Long day for Brady on that grass.
So you say yes. Okay, option number 9. A defensive player is the MVP. $7 million for the right answer, minus $7 million for the incorrect answer. I say no. CJ?
No.
Goddess Kelly?
No.
Spitface?
I'm not going to take the option.
Okay, pass. And Dizzy Mac?
No.
All right, the final option. The game will go to overtime. $4 million for the right answer, minus $4 million for the incorrect answer. Goddess Kelly?
My heart couldn't take it. No.
Spitface?
No.
Dizzy Mac?
No.
CJ?
No.
And I'll say no. Unfortunately, no. All right. Well, we'll see how we do with those particular predictions. This is it, coming to crown our winner. It's time for our outrageous predictions. Goddess Kelly, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is when I am at the Victory Parade in Philadelphia, and that's not outrageous, it is going to be a beautiful, sunshiny day with temperatures in the 60s.
Okay. That's an outrageous prediction. It's cold up there.
I know, it's
All
cold.
right. CJ, what's your prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that next year women's football Super Bowl is going to be televised.
Oh, okay. All right. Dizzy Mac, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is Tom Brady will catch a touchdown pass.
Okay, that's outrageous.
He's done it. He's done it before.
Okay. Spitface, what's your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have a better record than the Raiders next season.
Than the Raiders. Okay.
Next season.
All right. Well, my outrageous prediction is that Tom Brady will retire after winning the Super Bowl. That's my outrageous prediction. The NFL reports that women make up 45% of the National Football League fan base. Within last several years, there have been more movement of including women in the NFL. 2 coaches, 2 female officials, and 3 females with 100% ownership. Yet there needs to be more women involved with the NFL, especially since local amateur football leagues are seeing a decline in enrollment. It would make sense for the NFL to include more females that can advocate for children to play football because children listen to their mothers more than they do their fathers. Goddess Kelly, how can the listeners check you out on your other broadcasts?
You can listen to me live, uncensored, unscripted, and off the chain every Friday night from 7 to 9 p.m. at blogtalkradio.com/momentumshift on the Red Zone with Kelly and Rashawn. You can also check us out on demand on our sponsor website, goingfor2.com. It's going, F-O-R, the number 2.com. And follow me on Twitter. I'll spell my name, KELLIERUTTAR.
Okay. You can check CJ on Facebook /Sabor, SABOIRE, on Instagram and Twitter. You can check me out on Twitter at Cheryl Smith at First Lady Sports. Please visit our new website, braspantysports.com, where you will find links for each of us, original episodes, and the Bearskin Lounge with Dizzy Mac. Please enjoy the performance at the end of the show. This has been Cheryl Smith, CJ, Goddess Kelly, Spitface, and Dizzy Mac. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's a wrap.